Good morning. Welcome to the Windsor Star News Cafe. I'm Don McArthur here with Dylan Kristy, and we got a huge show queued up for you this morning.
Yeah, it should be good. We have Windsor Ward 1 candidate Daniel Ablazard coming in, Windsor Ward 3 candidate Gay Maggio, and the two mayoral candidates are going to be stopping by. We have both Robin Easterbrook and Larry Horwitz, who up until now has been a no-show on the show.
He's been dodging us, yeah. So we've been sort of giving him the gears. He was hunkered down for the chamber debate, but Horwitz, he's going to come on the show.
Let's hope.
Yeah, a big day around the Star. Yesterday we had two editorial board meetings with Drew Dilkins and with John Milson, and we're going to show a picture for you right now. This was Dilkins' editorial board meeting at 10 a.m., and look at that bunch of like vultures in there, like, you know, picking at the carcass there, and some hard balls were thrown. He's at the head of the table, surrounded by seasoned reporters, editorial writers, Marty Beneteau, editor-in-chief. Hardball after hardball after hardball.
I would have hated to have been in his seat. I said that after the fact. He was uncomfortable, and we wanted it to be that way. We wouldn't accept a lot of the answers that he gave. We would re-ask the questions in a different way, just because sometimes one of the ones that was really hard to get an answer out of. How would you differentiate yourself from Eddie Francis? What makes you different?
I'm still not.
And he still couldn't do it. He said that a lot of the issues that Eddie put forward, he agreed with. He wouldn't say what he just said. We're different people. At the end of the day, I'm Drew Dilkins. He's Eddie Francis. We're just two different people, and that was it.
Yeah. Now the one interesting thing, he apologized for his thing on the urban chickens when he said that it was clucking ridiculous. He got eviscerated on social media for that. He admitted, "Hey, I'm not funny. I shouldn't have tried to make a joke. I should stick to the serious stuff." And on the Auditor General, Karen Hall really put his feet to the fire. He sort of said, "Look, we have an Auditor General, and well." No, we don't, right? We outsource it to PricewaterhouseCoopers, and she asked him, well, do they have the same sort of powers, investigative powers?
That's right, because with an Auditor General, there's provincial powers there's provincial rights that give the Auditor General the right to look into pretty much anywhere.
Sure.
Whereas with PricewaterhouseCoopers, we asked, do they have the exact same privileges as an Auditor General? And he said he didn't know. And in his defense, he said, I don't want to say yes or no. Let me look into this and get back to you. But he couldn't answer the question.
Exactly. No, Abe Tak, his campaign manager, he rode shotgun with him. He came in. That was at 10 a.m., went for about an hour. And then we had John Milson come in the afternoon. And that was another interesting one. That's a setup shot.
Yeah, I was giving you a hard time earlier. Just you happened to be looking at the Civic Vote
just
picture
happened
on
to
your
be looking at
laptop.
the logo. But that's a little setup shot. Again, he sat at the head of the table. And a lot of hardball, probably more hardballs were thrown Milson's way, it seemed to me, just being in there. And maybe it's because some of his answers weren't as sort of nailed down specific, so you had to really keep trying to unravel what he was saying there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of rhetoric that gets thrown around in these debates, in these answers. I wasn't in there for Milson's one, but one interesting thing that I did see, that Milson did come in with a bunch of his
Came in with the tax bills. He says, tax freeze? Well, look at my tax bill. So Vanderdolen, that's him, his cuff, his wedding ring, his pen that you see there. And he started feverishly making notes. And in fact, Milson's taxes have gone up.
Now, it wasn't 16% that I saw. I was just following the tweets. It
Numbers
was like
13 or something like that. And of course, you know, the counterpoint to that is, look, no one ever said individual taxes on individual homes never went up. I mean, we can't, how can we be that sort of micromanaged like that? But what they have said, the city, there's a tax freeze in general, in totality, you know, money taken in is the same as year before, and this and that. But anyway, there's a lot of back and forth on whether there was actually a tax freeze or not a tax freeze. Dave Cook, the former NDP MPP, he rode shotgun, was in there for Milson's interview, and he tweeted at Winstar Chen after saying, look, a tax freeze is a tax rate freeze.
Right.
And he says we haven't had that. So anyway, a lot of back and forth. It all depends on what the meaning of is.
Another really interesting thing that came out from both candidates, they were asked if they received any funding or donations from the Ambassador Bridge or Matty Maroon. Dilkins, he said that he has not. Asked if he would accept any. He thought about it for a little bit, and then he said, yeah, he probably would.
Yeah, and actually said, too, that the Bridge has approached him during the campaign, maybe to sit down, and he says his door is open to anyone, and but he hasn't accepted any money from the Bridge. Ditto for Milson. He says he hasn't taken any money from the Bridge. We also asked him, how long if you win?
Yeah.
Both of them said 2 terms. Of course, Eddie said that too, and
Exactly,
it was 3 terms by my calculations. And then, of course, they asked about the hospital. Where should the mega hospital go? And
Dilkins had a very precise answer. He said the Windsor Airport lands. He thought it was a good location, great for both county access and city access. And on Milson, he just said Windsor.
Said Windsor, you know. So anyway, we'll see. Two editorial board meetings. That's it right now. There's a chance Horwitz, everyone thinks is in third place. He might get one. That's not confirmed right now. All three of them are going to be here on Tuesday for our big debate here in the Windsor Star News Cafe at 12:30. And like we said, huge show today. Maggio, Ablisser, Horwitz, Easterbrook.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in.
And happy Thanksgiving.
That's right.